Hi everyone, it's Tammy, and I am going to talk over as I am showing you on the video what I'm doing. I have a Dollar Tree book that I purchased. It's a paperback book, and I'm just using a piece of chipboard that I am hot gluing to the back of the book that will help make sure that the book stays in an open position. And I am using a spray bottle with just water in it to wet the pages just a little bit, just so that they will kind of, buckle or like fold a little bit on themselves. So I'm just randomly turning the page and using a spray bottle of water to dampen everything. And this is going to be a really cool spell book. You can see how some of the pages are already folding a little bit, which is kind of cool. So it doesn't matter what book it is. I just went to the Dollar Tree and found a book that I thought would work. You could do it with a hardback book too. And then I also used a printable that you could find on Pinterest for a spell book. And so I cut those out. I printed it and then I'm cutting it out so that it'll fit my book. And you can make it whatever size you want to make it, of course. And I wanted it to be a little, I don't know, antiqued. So I am spraying that down with water too. I don't know if that was a necessary step, but well, yes, it was. Okay, sorry. I'm just remembering. It was a necessary step. So I also cut out the spells that I thought maybe I'd put on the front, but I ended up not using it because I really, since I'm put that chipboard on the back to hold the book open, you won't even see it. But I went ahead and dried with my heat gun some of the pages, and I just wanted to make sure that I could get it so that everything would, stick together and work well. And before I let that dry too much, the pages, the spell book pages, I ripped around the edges just to make it look kind of creepy and worn and used. So I just did that. And that's nice to do when the paper is damp. You don't want it to be totally wet, but you do want it to be damp. And I haven't done voiceovers very often, so I apologize if this is weird, but it was the best way to do it because it did take a good hour or so to complete the book. And I was listening to an audiobook as I was doing this, or YouTube, I'm not sure which. And then to make it even a little more spooky, I wanted to burn some of the edges and even some of the middle. Now, be careful if you do this because it does create a lot of smoke and some ash. And I just used a lighter that I had. I don't know, that maybe if you had a tea light that you could just put it over might be a little bit better. I don't know. It wasn't perfect, but it worked. And I ripped some of it that I didn't want to, so I had to cut another piece of paper out. And then I got a hole in this one, so I just kind of dealt with it. But this process took a little while. I was kind of hoping that it would yellow it a little, and it did not. But I think it worked out all right. And you will see the end results. And it does like sometimes catch fire, so make sure you have your squirt bottle around so that you can easily put anything out. And then I dampened it again really well. And I'm really not sure why I'm still dampening it because I probably didn't need to do that step, but I did. I was unsure. And then I kept my hot glue gun ready as well. And man, those hot glue guns get hot, so be careful. So once you have gotten the pages glued down the way you want, I took some acrylic black paint and a paintbrush, and I wasn't sure what kind of paintbrush I wanted to use, but I decided on the bristle kind as opposed to the foam kind, and I just painted black all around the edges of the book. And I did the whole outside edge of the book and the bottom and the top, and then I also turned it over and did the whole back side with the chipboard and all of that. So that whole back is black. Now I didn't try hard to get the pages to stick together. I let them stick together as they did, but I didn't try to glue the pages together or anything just yet because I'm going to decorate it a little bit as well. So here I'm just letting it dry, I think. Oh, and here's where I'm going to put some Spanish moss within the pages. I found the Spanish moss at the Dollar Tree for $1 a package, and one package will make multiple books. I used hot glue to just glue some on the insides wherever I felt like it should be. And like I said, that hot glue is really hot, so be careful with it, but it was fun to use. I don't know that I've used the hot glue gun or had it warming up for so long before. I mean, the glue just squirts right out of it when it's that hot. So I ended up turning it onto the low setting instead of the high setting because it was, like I said, so hot. So I'm just taking Spanish moss and putting it between the pages, just wherever I thought looked good. A couple layers of it on the sides and some on the top. And so this is a lot of a Dollar Tree project minus the paint and the brushes and the Mod Podge. So, but the Spanish moss was from the Dollar Tree. The book was from the Dollar Tree. The printables were free for personal use. I found some other things at the Dollar Tree that I used, and I'll show you that here soon. So I'm just doing my touch-ups on wherever I want the paint, I guess. Actually, I think this is the Mod Podge now. I'm doing the Mod... No, I don't know. That was the black. I don't know what I was doing. So then here's the back side. And I did let this dry between. And I'm just painting away. I just gave it one coat. You could make it two or whatever, but no one's really going to see the back side. I just didn't want it to look like a book. Well, a modern book. I wanted it to look like a spell book. So I even took the paintbrush and went underneath the chipboard as I could just to get it as much black as I could. And the acrylic paint, I don't know if you've ever used it, but even if you haven't, it's a mess. I'm not going to lie. I have parchment paper down on the bottom, but it will totally come off of your hands. Just use a little soap and water. And then I used my heat gun to help dry everything. The heat gun was a blessing for sure. I know some people can use their heat gun to make it so that, I don't know. Maybe I'm doing this the second time. I have no idea. Or maybe I'm showing you two different books that I did because I ended up doing like 5 books that day. But I know that some people can use their hot glue gun to actually burn the pages. And I stuck some creepy people from Tim Holtz that I had in my stash in the books just because I thought it was kind of creepy. Ugh. Still kind of creeps me out. So that was in my stash. This is from the Dollar Tree. It's a headband, and I thought it was kind of cute. So I took the headband out, and it was a witch's hat. And I had orange and purple, so I just used the orange one, or the purple one on some, and the orange ones on some, and I just kind of, made it so that the hat was on the edge, but it looked kind of cute, and I made the bow set down correctly. And it came with this little piece of black tulle, so I stuck that in the middle of the book, thinking that that looked kind of cool. And then I had purchased some, and I finished with some more Spanish moss. I had purchased these little pretty bling at Michael's. They had a 50% off sale. So I thought, ooh, I'll put that there. And then I had this little spider that was like a little, I don't know, jewelry something that you were supposed to, you could make something into jewelry, but I just thought it was blingy and pretty, so I turned it over, put hot glue on it, and stuck it in the corner. And then I also had this little black cat. It was glittery with diamondy eyes, and bat the same, glittery with diamondy eyes. Those were both from Michael's this year. But they were in my stash because I had purchased them for something else. So I just added them to it, and I thought that it turned out really, really cute. And then I finished it off with some gold glue, glitter glue, and just put that on the edges with my fingers because my fingers were already a total mess from the black acrylic paint. So I just kind of glittered up wherever I felt needed it. And I was super excited. And here it is. Yay!